Okay. So Ms. Kristin Minassian, Gold Ambassador, is going to share with us about placements and how you can utilize these in your business to help your business grow, and tips and tricks that we have learned along the way, because I can tell you, I do not make placements the same way that I did when I first started. So excited for you guys to get to learn from our mistakes and learn from our growth as well.
Wow. I don't even know how to talk after they talked. I'm like, geez, Louise, it's been so nice to just sit back and hear. This goes down as probably my favorite call to date. Just Vanessa, I was messaging Brooke, you're a mini Bob. You nailed it. So good. So good. And then Colette, I'm in tears over here because and you guys will see next weekend my goal of 2020, what Colette just did is it. And I'm just in awe of Colette right now. And this has just been amazing. So my training's not fun and exciting. I'm just going to put that out there. It's really not. It's not inspirational. It's factual. But it's something that I have been wanting to, train on, but it's not an easy thing to train on because everybody looks different when it comes to their legs. So it's one of those things where you're I even asked Aspen, Aspen, can you help me train my team on what this looks like and how placements looks like? And she's like, it doesn't look the same. And it's true. It doesn't look the same for everybody. So this is a really hard factual thing. But I made a PowerPoint because that's what I do. And the only reason I PowerPoint everything is because my spirit animal is squirrel. And if I don't have something to follow, I will end up in left field in some other topic talking about something completely different. So, but I really want to dig in and kind of teach the back office, show the back office, show some things. So it's going to be kind of weird. I'm actually starting this off with kind of showing my back office, which is weird. I don't feel like anybody above me where I came from ever showed me their back office, but I am going to show you guys because I do get a question often asked to me, and I want to make sure that people understand how to figure out who's at the bottom of your leg. Because if you can't figure that out, Colette's like me. I get this question a lot. And so if you can't figure out who's at the bottom of a leg, then you're not going to know how to even place or build or leverage. And those are the things we're going to talk about. So I'm going to share my screen. And as weird as it is, I'm going to kind of let you guys dig into my back office. Obviously, it's going to look completely different. But I wanted to at least start by unpacking that. And again, I'm only doing this because this is something I get a lot, is how do I even figure out who's at the bottom of that leg? So I'm going to do that. And Colette, raise your hand if I can figure this thing out. It gets really confusing. Colette, if I figure out the thing how to get there, are you okay with me showing for a 5 seconds your ambassador ID? I'll close it as fast as possible. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen just really quickly. Brooke, do you mind making me the host for, I don't know if that's going to work, or co-hosting? Can you make me a co-host? Does that work? And that way I can share my screen because I do have a PowerPoint. Okay. All righty. Okay. I am going to share my screen. And I had it up. Let me get it back up. Okay. So here is when you are in your visual tree, you want to make sure that you are switching out of enrollment into placement tree. This is how you can start really unpacking your placements. But then you also want to come over here and you want to take away the customers. You don't need to see customers when you're digging in your tree. Okay, so I'm just going to follow a leg. I'm going to come over here. We're going to go down. Okay, so then you sit here and you're like, and I may not even figure out where Colette is. I zoomed out so that you couldn't see names. If you zoom in, you can see people's names, but you just want to follow the leg down. If you see an arrow, that means there's still people underneath them. You just kind of want to go on a rat race, basically until you figure out who is at the bottom of that leg. So it looks like we found the bottom. Nothing's coming up here. Sorry, I want to zoom in so I can actually figure this out, but it's probably not going to happen. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay, sorry, I want to zoom in because it does get confusing. You want to just keep going down the rat race until you can find the person at the bottom of that leg. So I don't know if that makes sense, if that helps at all. Sorry, I can't, if I could zoom in, I would find what I was talking about. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna unshare for just a second so I can figure this out, because I'm completely can't do this without seeing, but I wanna be able to show you guys exactly what I was talking about. Okay. And then it just got really miniature. Sorry guys, hold on. Isn't the visual tree so fun sometimes, you guys? Okay, I am going to switch back over to placements. Sorry. See, I promise I'm not the expert on it, but it can be difficult at times. I'm gonna get it back to where you guys can't see names. Okay, I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. Just one second. Okay. So we want to go and we want to find out. I want to find out who's at the bottom of this leg. So I'm going to go and I'm going to keep clicking down until I can find who is at the bottom. So here's my girl right there. And we're just going to keep going down. If we need to figure out who's at the bottom of this leg, you're just going to keep clicking the arrow down. There's no magical way to find out exactly who is at the bottom until you just keep clicking. You keep clicking those arrows until you get there. And once you click the arrows, there's no one there. That's how you can find out at the bottom. And then if you want to find out who is in between all your people, you're going to go in and you're going to search. Colette gave me permission. You're going to go find, so you can see right here, I'm going to put Colette in. And then anytime you're on your tree and you see that circle right here, if you click this circle, it will, to the right of the screen, I'm not gonna give away my team's names and stuff, I just, for confidentiality reasons, but if you get to the point where you search somebody's name and you click this circle right here, on the right hand of your screen, it will pop up every person from you to Colette. It'll tell you every single person down the chain. So if you need to know who's in between Jen Scott and me, I'll type in Jen Scott. I will click her circle between my bubble and her bubble, and it'll tell me every single person between me and Jen Scott. Very simple, but there's no magical secret of figuring out who's at the bottom of a leg. It really is just a hunt and find of clicking and clicking and clicking until you find out who's at the bottom. Okay, so here's my PowerPoint. If you guys know me, I love me some PowerPoints. That's just my jam. Okay, and again, I apologize if this doesn't make sense, but I'm just trying to, again, like I said, there's no magical sauce on how to build a leg. There's no, this is how it works, this is how it works, this is how it works. Everybody's looks completely different. So I'm gonna just kind of show, this might blow people's minds. First of all, we have team legs. So this is a team leg that I have built. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody, but when you're looking at your back office, this is a team leg that I've built. It always goes straight down, straight down. So let's look at this. Right here where you see the green line, this is the team leg. These are people that anytime that green line crosses them, these are people that I have personally recruited. So you'll see this pink little dot pops over here. You're only building straight down. This one right here pops right here, straight down. I stopped here. I have not built here. But as you can tell, this very, very lucky person at the very top of this leg has an entire organization on my strongest leg built underneath her. However, I've never once built on this side. I've always built straight down. I've not come over here and built over here. I've not come over here and built over here. This doesn't look straight down, but I promise these are, if the green line passes through the person, that means that it's a personally sponsored ambassador. I've never once taken somebody and placed them off the team leg. So think about it as a straight down thing. Think about it as a green line. Wherever you have that green line going, that is where you are placing. You will never place on the other side. However, here's where people can get very like, wait, what? So let's look at this one right here. I have not built underneath her. So let's say it's time for me to go back and build in this leg. Well, guess what? She already has 3 legs. She's working on her 3rd already. So if I needed to go build in her leg, I'm not going to place that ambassador directly under her. I'm actually going to go find the bottom of her weakest leg, and I'm going to go place underneath that person. So you're not directly placing at that point underneath your personally sponsored if they started building. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. I just remember there was something else that I wanted to share when I was showing my trees. Okay, so here is another thing that I think is really important. Hold on one second. I have to go back out, back in. Sorry. Okay, you guys are seeing my numbers. That's kind of awkward. Sorry, guys. That's awkward. Sorry, this is becoming horrible. Okay, so I want to show you guys, sorry, I didn't mean to show you guys all my stuff, but anytime you go in and out of the placement trees and stuff, it makes you do that. I wanted to say another thing as a leader that I think is so important. When you are looking at your back office and your placement trees, as a leader, you need to be identifying things like this, and you're going to see it all over my trees, don't worry. Every month, you should be checking to see if somebody has 3 legs. Your job is to help them with placements. If you're going in and you're seeing people that have 3 legs, if they're not ready to build a silver leg yet, you need to be going in your back office and finding those people. If you dig around, you're going to see it. You'll see there are people that will have 3 legs, and you need to go find those people, and you need to say, oh, we need to make some placements. We need to get this built properly. So as a leader, you want to make sure that you're constantly helping with that as well, and identifying those people that may have 3 legs and making sure that you are helping them get placements done properly. And so let's look at placements. All righty, now let's go to how you build. So let's look at these numbers. Here is Sally. Sally has personally recruited 3 ambassadors. One of them has 365 volume. Maybe they've added a few customers. We've got one that's got 100, another one that's got 100. With this, you want to create balance. This one's a pretty easy one. You're going to keep this person over here, and you're going to stack these 2, one underneath the other. So whoever you want to bless the most, you're going to put at the top. Whoever's a strong leader, you're going to put them at the top. So you want to do that and bless and put that person underneath. So they've got 2 balanced legs. So now let's look at this example. We've got the team leg. Not everybody has a team leg. This isn't something that everybody has. This is something that some people have, some people don't. It's not consistent. That's why it's so hard to train on this, because everybody's legs are different. But let's say, here's Sally. I personally sponsored her, and I placed Bob underneath her. Well, I haven't placed anybody else underneath Bob. So then we've got Sally. She personally recruited these 2 over here. Well, we've got this one who has 365 volume. We have this one who has 100 volume. So you're not going to place this person with 100 volume underneath their personally recruited. You're going to need to put them on the team leg to create balance. And so what happens then is this person gets on the team leg because you want to create that balance, and they may get blessed because I would then be recruiting and building on that leg at some point. But it's all about creating balance, whether they're on the ambassador's leg or the team leg, because remember, I could put one person under Sally and then never build there again. So there's never a consistent, this is the team leg. This is, yeah, you got someone put underneath you, but this person's gonna have to be placed here. And then this ambassador is responsible for building each of these legs moving forward, unless their ambassador needs to go build in that leg again. I feel like everybody's minds are like, what? If y'all have questions, just pop them in the chat and I can answer them. Okay, so let's pop into, I don't even have this on present mode, sorry guys. Okay, this is something that we've been working really hard to get good at, is understanding the freeze. So from the 1st through typically the 10th, but lately because commissions are running around the 6th, we cannot make placements. So from the 1st through now, what really is the 7th, we can't make placements. So in my team, Brooke and Vanessa may do this differently. I've been trying to make this more streamlined, because what has been happening on my team is it's not streamlined. And from the 7th through the 15th, it's a constant placements. So we're trying to get really good about having a consistency and a streamlined way of sharing placements. So I highly recommend the 1st through the 7th, you're in phase 1 like nobody's business, but you're also helping your team with their placements at that time. Looking in your back office, seeing who has 3 legs, seeing who has 4 legs. Somebody may have joined last month and has 7 legs because they recruited 7 ambassadors. Spending your time, and it's true, Jen Scott, it happens. And you wanna make sure that you're getting organized so that you can have those placements ready, is to be mindful of your silver or above their time. Because I'm going to be honest, when I was not streamlined, it was a constant time. It was this, it was this, it was this, it was this, it was this. And we're getting better. We're getting in a better rhythm on our team. So placements are typically sent to me whenever they want. I have an album in my phone and I save them to my phone and I send them over that way. So it's really easy. My liaison doesn't mind. She lets me send them whenever. So that after the 7th, when the commissions run, all the placements are done that day. So you want to make sure. So another thing, just on my team, again, Vanessa and Brooke may be very different, but I do say, please type all placements and questions to your silver upline, even if you're trying to understand how to place someone. And here's an example on the side. But the reason I say that is because for me personally, if someone voice messages me and they're like, hey, so I have this person and I think she should go here, but maybe she should go there, but I don't know. If it goes this way, I don't understand it. Like, I'm serious, my mind goes, whoop, I don't understand anything. I am the most visual person in the world. So when someone types it up and they're like, this, I'm like, boom, I understand it so much better. So that's just for me personally, because that's very hard and broad to understand. But when you are sending over placements after the freeze, make sure that you just type it up. Super simple, so that they can copy and paste it and send it over like that. My team has gotten into a solid rhythm with doing that. So you just say, Sally Sue, make sure, even if it's somebody you're not placing, you want to put that person's name at the top, who they're getting placed under, put their name, and then whomever goes after that. It just makes it super easy for that silver above just to copy, paste, send, or screenshot, send. So just trying to make it as easy as possible, because I'm not gonna lie, it got to a point where I was like, I can't take this. Brooke knows. I'm like, oh my gosh, they were coming at me left and right. And so we've gotten into a good rhythm of how to do this to make it easier. So here is something that Brooke and I and other leaders on this team have been learning, and I would give anything if I would have learned about this back in the day, and it's leveraging. Leveraging has become amazing on our team, absolutely amazing. So first and foremost, you as the leader, you as a recruiter, and you as talking to your ambassadors, do not place anyone those first 7 days. Do not do it. And if you're in a freeze, that's a different story. You have to wait and blah, blah, blah. But do not place anyone for 7 days, because you get to do something called leveraging. And it's absolutely amazing how leveraging works. So I want to kind of explain it. Is leveraging would have been, so I was thinking about this example today. So when I joined Rachel Ding could have gone to all those people in her funnel, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn by no means, all those people in her funnel, all those people that were hot prospects that she had been nervous to reach out to, and she could have said, hey, listen to me. I have this girl. She just joined. I know she's going to rock it. And I want you to join right now, because I have to place her in 48 hours and I can put her underneath you. If somebody came to me and said, I'm going to place a Colette Sprinkle or a Brooke Lloyd or a Vanessa Parrish underneath you, join right now, I would have said, sign me up. I'll do whatever you say. Are you kidding me? So do not place in those first 7 days. You want to use that time to leverage as many people as you can. Connect with all those hot prospects, all those people in your funnel, and tell them you have volume to place underneath them immediately. We are doing this like a boss. And we have someone on this call that got leveraged, and she was like, fine, I'll just do it. and she wasn't going to do the business, but we leveraged her. And guess what? She's on this call because she's a rising leader and she's amazing. Amazing. You know who you are. So it works. Leveraging is absolutely amazing. So help your team with leveraging. It is very tricky and confusing. So just reach out to your leader to have them help you, because it doesn't look the same for everyone. So here's a little graphic right here. So here's an example. So let's say Rachel utilized me and got someone to join. She leveraged them, or she leveraged me to get me to join. So here I am, I joined. And then this graphic can be really confusing. And then I signed up Bob right here. And I was like, hey, George, guess what? This guy, Bob, just joined my team. He's absolutely amazing. He's going to rock it. You have got to join me, and I'm going to place him underneath you. Great. He signs up. Guess what? I got to place Bob underneath George. He was leveraged. Then you do it again. You just keep leveraging as you recruit. Again, this is a tricky thing. So please get with your leader who has knowledge about what this looks like so they can help you, because if it's not done properly, it can get messy. So you just want to make sure that you're doing it the right way, especially with building your legs as well. It's very confusing in the beginning. Do not feel like you have to know how to do it. Connect with your leaders. Connect. Typically, we do bronze and above leaders, bronze, silver leaders. They're going to be able to help you on what those placements look like. So make sure you're connecting with them when you're learning how the placements look like. It is tricky. It is confusing, but I'm telling you, once it clicks, you're like, oh, I get it now. Like, I get it. It makes sense. So, okay, I hope that helps. Does anyone have any questions in the chat? I feel like it's a lot of information. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, good.
That was awesome. Really, really good. I think that one of the things to remember is you guys may or may not be at this place yet, right? Like, I love that she's talking about where she is right now, because I can tell you, before I went silver, I didn't really understand it. I always say, like, that's why we're having these leadership calls, because I want you guys to be able to learn the things that you're going to need for the next level. You should always be leveling up. You should always be thinking about what happens when I get to that next place. What do I need to know? And how can I best serve my team? How can I best be prepared? Because we all think like, oh, I can't wait to have a liaison. And then it happens and you're like, oh my gosh, things are crazy. Like everything's exploding and you're trying to sort it out. So for example, one of the things Kristin mentioned was how to word things. Think about these liaisons, these support team members as like secretaries almost. If you were going to email the secretary, right, something, like Kristin has everyone text her, I have everyone email me, because then I can just send it right off. But she doesn't know what we're talking about. She doesn't know the dynamics of our team or who that person is or where. All she knows is I'm supposed to do this task. So making sure that you have it in a format so that that can help, you know, they understand it, right? And then as far as the leveraging thing goes, this is really, really important. When you see out in the field, people bringing in these big rock star leaders, right? Whether they are in network marketing or in something else or whatever, the way they're doing that, one of the ways at least, is you got to be ready, right? So if you're growing your team right now, if you want to bring someone like that into your organization, you've got to be ready to drill depth with them. You have to be ready to you have to be in a mode where you are willing to go and recruit rock stars to help them grow, because that's what they're going to want. Right. So it's important. That's why and I'm learning this, you guys. I didn't know this at the beginning. I don't think anyone leveraged me. But like, I didn't know any of this. Right. I'm not sure even my sponsor knew any of this. But what I'm learning is from Jake, because he wrote the comp plan. He knows why he did it that way. And he did it that way because what this does is it helps you bring in people that are going to be motivated. The leveraging is it's not a manipulation tactic. It's not like, oh, I'll just get them to join by doing this. It's a motivating thing, right? So, hey, if that person that you know can do this well comes in and they already have 600 in volume underneath them because you've been recruiting, because that's the important part, right? Staying in phase one, you've been recruiting. You've got 6 people in your placement suite. And then you bring that person in and you place volume under them. All of a sudden they only have to do X, Y, and Z. And you tell them that you go do this and this, and you're going to rank up 3 times. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to go do that, right? And so that's really important. And then, you know, you help those new people duplicate, and all of a sudden now half of their elites built for them. So, and most of my leaders that are on this call, that's what happened, right? And it motivates them. It gets them really excited to, you want to always be having your next up and coming leader catch up to you. And so it's another reason why when we make placements, we should be doing that in the place where we're building. This is also something that I've learned. You don't want to go put someone in a completely different leg that you're not building in, because you're not going to be able to be working with them and doing that, right? Every now and again, we'll have someone that joins that like they're best friends with this other person and they're going to work together, whatever, right? But for the most part, those people that come in you should be placing them where you are building. And I've also had people tell me, well, I didn't know that I could build in that leg where someone else built. Absolutely. Your 2 legs or 3 legs are your 2 or 3 legs, right? It is a blessing to have placements. Kristin has never had placements. I have never had placements. It's a blessing to have placements. But just know that like at some point that leader is going to go build somewhere else. And your responsibility is to maintain the balance in those legs and to continue to grow them. So that's why that phase 1 is so important. Okay. And if y'all have more questions about placements or anything, please let us know. But thank you for sharing that, Kristin. It was so good.